Hey Bricks, it's Brickley here, and welcome to episode 24 of Building Mordor in LEGO. And in this episode, we're actually gonna work on the Towers of Teeth. I don't know if you already knew the name, but the towers, the big towers on each side of the Black Gate are actually called the Towers of Teeth. I found that on the internet, but I think that's quite a nice name for the towers, although I'm just gonna go and call them the Towers of the Black Gate over here. So I actually got the main foundation, and as you see, there's actually a big part missing, which I actually built in one of the previous episodes of Building Mordor in LEGO. It's actually scrapped right there because I couldn't really move it around easily while building the big part of the rock work on the right side and of course on the left side. And if you haven't seen my huge time lapse of me building the entirety of that part of the rock work right there, I highly suggest you go and click the card on the top right corner of the screen to watch episode 23 to see my building rock work techniques. And if you haven't saved the playlist to which I manually add all of the episodes of my Building Mordor in LEGO series, I highly suggest you go and save that playlist to watch every single episode of my building series in order. And yeah, if you are enjoying my Building Mordor in LEGO series, of course, let me know by leaving a like to support this video. Go subscribe to Brickley if you are new to my channel, and of course, ring that notification bell to stay updated when I post any LEGO videos. And let's go ahead and get right into this video. So before I'm gonna go and build the Towers of Teeth, I'm actually gonna go and show you something which came in earlier this week. So there's actually this little package which I'm gonna unbox right now. Actually came in a couple of days ago before Christmas, so I'm really excited to show you what's inside. So here's the package, and I'm just gonna go and open it. And as you can see, there's really something promising inside because it's Gondor soldiers, and these aren't official LEGO minifigures, of course, but I think they'll do the job for, of course, my Black Gate MOC. So I'm really happy with these minifigures. These are actually from AliExpress, but the ones I actually wanted to order for my Black Gate MOC won't be able to actually come in time for the finale of my Black Gate MOC. So I actually ordered a couple of these from a local seller for quite a good deal. So these minifigures are not LEGO, they're just custom. And I think the printing on, of course, this Gondor soldier really is superb with, of course, the white tree of Gondor over there on his armor. We got the shoulder plates right over here. Also, actually, this awesome helmet with some printing on the back as well, some sort of wings actually on the sides. And then, of course, we get some arm printing right here, also superb leg printing, actually all around the legs as well with these custom figures, and even just a stud on the back of this minifigure, so I can actually attach something to the back of the fig. We're just going to go and remove the armor piece. You can see the white tree of Gondor over here on his torso. We get, let me see here, we get a brown belt on the minifigure. And if we're going to take a look at the back torso actually over here, we also get some printing. So this minifigure is really nice, and I think it really is just superb that this cape piece over here actually just has one hole, because if we're going to compare this to regular LEGO capes, they actually have 2 or even 3 holes, which is sometimes actually quite annoying to attach to your minifigure, if I'm going to be honest. But yeah, I really like this minifigure. I think it's really just a superb minifigure to put in my Black Gate MOC, and actually got a couple more of these. I'm just going to go and put down this minifigure and show you the other content. Just going to go and empty out this little package right here. Yep, that's everything. Alright, so I actually also got actually a couple of these Gondor swords over here. Just going to go and attach this sword to a minifigure. I might even use some regular swords of LEGO, of course. But yeah, here's the Gondor sword, and I think it really looks superb. I mean, it really does the job well. Unfortunately, I don't have any of the custom shields of Gondor, but hey, I'm really happy that these minifigures came in time for, of course, the finale of building the Black Gate in LEGO, and I'm really happy that I got a couple of these minifigures. So I'm just going to go and set these minifigures up, and I'm really happy that I got these figures. I actually got these from a local seller, as I said before. And yeah, I think it's really just superb that I could get these so fast, because I really am in need of a couple of Gondor soldiers, because my Rohan army is quite big actually. I have a couple of Rohan soldiers, actually over 20 Rohan soldiers, but that doesn't really do the job for, of course, the Black Gate MOC. So over here, I got 10 of these Gondor soldiers, so that's really superb. I can definitely use these within my Black Gate MOC finale, and I'm really looking forward to setting up a lot of fighting scenes with these minifigures, with all of the orcs just trying to slay all of these minifigures. So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below what you think of these custom LEGO Gondor minifigures. I'm really eager to hear your thoughts about them. So I set up all of the Gondor soldiers over here on my big plane in front of the Black Gate, and I think they really look superb. They are really superb minifigures, and unfortunately at the moment I don't have more of these minifigures, because they are actually pretty hard to get now, because actually when I want to get these minifigures, of course, I want to get them as cheap as possible, because they're not real LEGO minifigures. And you got to take into account that these minifigures come from far away. So when you buy, like, for example, 60 of these minifigures, it's going to take around 30 to 60 days, 2 months, to get these minifigures to your LEGO collection. And I can't wait that long for, of course, getting all of these minifigures for my Black Gate MOC, because I really want to just finish this MOC and continue to actually build more MOCs for the Lord of the Rings. And I'm really just looking forward to the end result of this MOC. I'm just really hyped up about that. So what I'm going to do with these minifigures actually is put this entire Gondor army into a sort of battle scene over here in the middle, where every single minifigure is going to attack orcs and such. So it won't be a big sort of encircled army of Rohan and, of course, Gondor. It will be a big battle over here in the middle, with a couple of minifigures scattered all throughout the MOC. So that's definitely going to look amazing. And don't worry about it, it's going to look superb. And I'm definitely going to have a couple of angles of the Gondor soldiers. So it might seem that I have a lot of minifigures, but I'm just going to create those angles with these Gondor soldiers. And of course, my Rohan army over here. So don't worry about that. It's going to look superb in the end. And I'm definitely gonna just gonna create an awesome MOC for all of you to enjoy looking at. But yeah, of course, about the MOC, actually, I also need to start building the towers. So I got a lot of pieces right over here. We got a lot of these 1x2s, a couple of these sort of spikes for on top of the towers. And something interesting, actually, is that I actually already started to work on a sort of tower design. Now, this isn't my own design, not 100% anyways. Actually, you can see a picture on the left of the screen. You can see some towers, and these are actually made by someone who already also made a Black Gate MOC. And I suddenly stumbled upon this sort of tower design when I was researching some MOCs for, of course, my Middle-earth MOC series. And I immediately fell in love with this design, so I sort of copied it. I think it really looks superb, and I'm going to use this on top of the tower over here. Now, this isn't really to rip off the, well, of course, the original builder and to steal his design. I just think it looks superb, so I really want to give him my compliments. Your design looks superb, and I'm just going to go and sort of try to integrate it into my MOC and sort of personalize it. So the tower is going to look like my own tower. So the only thing I'm going to use from his tower is actually part of his top design over here. And I think it really looks superb. I mean, I have space for the minifigures over here in the middle. You can see through the sort of spikes over here, and it really looks just really accurate to the movie. So I think I'm going to use this tower design. I'm definitely going to use that. And you might say, well, Brickley, why do you have so many of these spikes? Well, I'm also going to use these towers for Barad-dûr as well. So that's also something pretty epic. So I actually ordered all of these pieces in advance. That's definitely something, well, actually, I wanted to do. I really wanted to, of course, be a step ahead of my future MOCs. So I really just ordered a couple of those pieces extra. But yeah, I'm going to work on the towers. I'm going to try to make sure that the design is actually going to be as stable as possible, because I frequently had trouble with that part over there, which is actually laying apart right there, falling apart. So it really was breaking a lot, and I really want to make sure that it won't break that easily anymore. And I also have a sort of problem where I need to fill up some gaps over here when I add those parts again. So we're just gonna go and start building. So I just finished building the first tower on the left side of the Black Gate, and I gotta say that it just looks amazing. I know it isn't done, but I'm gonna improve the tower in the future, so don't worry about that. This is actually just a skeleton design for my tower, so this will look a lot better in the future. I promise you that. I'm gonna improve it. And I definitely look forward to doing that, because the tower really is an important part of the Black Gate MOC. It's really an essential part, because you can't really create a Black Gate MOC without the big towers on both sides. So I'm just gonna go and walk you through how I actually designed this tower. You can clearly see that the tower isn't finished yet, but I'm okay with that. I actually had to order a couple of pieces, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But right now, I'm going to walk you through the entire design of this tower, and I'm really happy that I went ahead and started building the tower, because I really was dreading this task of building Mordor. I don't really have any problem with, of course, building the rock work or landscaping or the main Black Gate itself, because that's actually a lot of simple building. But if you're going to build a structure like this, for example, this tower right here, you got to design a tower with a round shape, with, first of all, it's actually quite hard to do in LEGO. So building round shapes in LEGO is quite hard. And then on top of that, of course, you got to design these sort of angles. So it sort of needs to be a little bit curvy and sloping in the tower. And that's definitely something hard to do with this design, because you also need to add a lot of tiles on the sides, jumper plates and spikes. So it was really hard to pull off, but I'm really happy with the final result of the skeleton for the Tower of Teeth, actually. So I'm really happy with that. You can see that the tower on the right over here is a little bit more unfinished, so to speak, and I think it really looks superb. I mean, I'm really happy with it, and I think it's really gonna look good in the future. I guess it's gonna look good, because I'm not sure how it's gonna end up. I'm definitely gonna put all of my effort into making sure that these towers are gonna look as smooth as possible for my Black Gate MOC, but I can't promise anything. But yeah, this is clearly my final design for the towers. I mean, all of these gaps over here aren't my final design. I gotta improve on that. I really gotta make sure that those gaps are a bit more closed, actually. You can see that I actually started experimenting with a couple of tiles over here between the gaps, but it isn't really filled up perfectly, so I really gotta experiment and, of course, make sure that everything is gonna look amazing within those gaps. But we're gonna go and start on the bottom of the tower, because I wanna walk you through everything I've built so far. So the bottom actually is almost still the same. I actually had to remove a lot of these pieces right here, because I also wanted to add them on the other tower right here. So I actually ordered a lot more of these 1x3 tiles, actually really useful pieces for just overall designing and, of course, detailing the tower right here. So all of these studs right here, and actually also right here, need to be filled up with those pieces. So I definitely look forward to that. You can also see that I actually started to add a lot of the spikes. And talking about the spikes, actually, this was really just an easy task. I mean, I only had to add a couple of those jumper plates on some pieces with the studs on the side, and then I added a lot of these spikes. I actually have a big bag filled with these spikes, so I think that definitely looks amazing. I'm really happy how that turned out, and I especially love the look right over here with these slopes right here attached to these pieces. I think that definitely adds a nice look, sort of a sloping effect into the higher section of the tower. That definitely looks amazing. And I'm also really looking forward to expanding this section right here, because it's actually just a simple piece with, I believe, a 4 by, well, actually this plate is a 4 by 10 plate, but I also actually have a couple of the 4 by 12 plates, I believe. But these pieces are really useful for just filling up a lot of space, and I actually had a lot of trouble with, of course, making sure that everything right here was going to be filled up actually. But I used these sort of wedge plates right here, and you can clearly see that this definitely adds a lot of awesome detailing and a lot of filled up area right here. So that definitely is superb, and I'm really looking forward to adding a lot of those plates right here. I may even sort of, well, of course, use all of these tiles right here, but I might end up using a couple of those wedge plates right here, but then the other way around. So they're going to actually point downwards in that sort of direction right there. So I definitely think that that would also be an awesome way to sort of design the sort of filling up area right here, because this area is really empty and it definitely needs to be filled up with a lot of pieces. But yeah, that's something for the future. I mean, I got the skeleton of the tower and I really like the way it's looking so far. I mean, you gotta imagine that all of this is gonna be just closed off and it's gonna look like an amazing black tower of teeth of the Black Gate. That's definitely something I look forward to. But yeah, I gotta wait for my parts to arrive, so that is a bit of a shame. But yeah, all of the spikes actually over here continue all the way to the top of the tower. I thought that would look really nice, and I think it definitely is a nice design. First of all, I actually wanted to use the cheese pieces, but then I actually sort of thought, well, what if I use those spike pieces, because those stand out a bit more. I actually decided to just go and use them. I mean, they really look superb, and I think it really adds a lot of detail to the tower. I mean, if we're going to take a look at the tower from right here, you can see all of the spikes just sticking out of the sides of the tower. And that definitely adds a lot of detail in my opinion. I really like it, and this is just my design of the tower, so I'm really happy with that. And of course, I gotta mention that the top of the tower right here is actually based off someone else's design. I'll link him in the description down below. He also created a magnificent Black Gate MOC, but he just had a perfect design for the top of the Tower of Teeth actually. And I decided to sort of try to integrate that design within my own MOC, because I really like the look of that. I mean, I have a couple of other spikes, like these spikes. I initially wanted to use these spikes for the top of the tower, but I think this really looks superb. I mean, I have a lot of space left for my minifigures to still stand and shoot some arrows through these holes actually over here. So that's definitely really an optimal sort of spike system on the top of the tower, which I'm really happy with, by the way. And I can actually just easily remove the tower. I'm actually going to show you that on this tower right here. I can just remove the top right here. I actually added a couple of, actually one tile, the 2x4 tile right here with those studs, and I can just easily attach it to the 2x8 plate right here, so I can easily attach that. I do need to do that with two hands, otherwise the entire tower will break, so I'm gonna do that in a second. But yeah, this structure is really just not really sturdy actually. It's really just a sort of wobbly tower, and it's gonna stay that way actually, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to pull off this design. So it's not going to be like the rock work right here. It can really just bump into this and it won't break at all. It's going to be not really a sturdy design. It's going to be a floppy structure, but you're not going to see that when it's in, of course, in display mode right here. So when I'm going to put this in storage, I do need to take apart the towers a bit so I can actually display it at a later moment in time. But I definitely think that it's really practical. I mean, I can remove these pieces and this entire section right here will just come off. I mean, you can see that this piece right here, actually I'll show you on the left tower of teeth over here. This tower piece right here just sort of, well, is a bit wobbly, and it really comes loose actually really easily because it's not really attached to anything. I'm going to look into attaching it right over here, but I'm not sure if I'm going to sort of, well, actually I'm not sure if I'm going to make that because it's really just hard to do that. I mean, it's a round design, and to keep this sort of shape with the sloping effect, I mean, you can see that this area right here is sort of straight, then it slopes into a thinner area, then it slopes into the bigger area right here, and then again it slopes into the thin area of the top of the tower. So it actually sort of is a sort of sloping tower effect, which I really wanted to create, because I can definitely make sure that it is structurally strong. But if I do that, it's just going to be a boring tower, just a boring straight tower right here, like something like this, but then round. And I didn't want to do that, so I really had to make sure that it looks as accurate to the movie as possible, and this was the way to do it. So I'm really happy with that. I mean, it's not perfect so far. I mean, I really need to add a lot of details over here. So I actually saw a couple of those tiles actually, which I need to add to the tower to sort of create a little small roofs over here on the tower, but I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that yet. But I definitely look forward to doing that. And I mean, I'm really happy with the tower. You can see that the foundation of the tower really looks superb. And then it sort of slopes into this smaller section. I mean, you can see that the tower isn't really straight right now. It's actually bending a little bit to the left, as you can see from this angle of the tower. But that's okay. I'm going to sort of set it up a little bit better in the finale of building Mordor in LEGO. So you won't have any problem with, of course, looking at this sort of bending tower. It's actually bending a little bit to that side right there. But yeah, I'm really happy with the design. The design is actually pretty easy. I just added a couple of these pieces right here, and these are just some of those plates, the 2x8 plates with a lot of jumper plates on top, and actually added a couple of these 1x4 bricks to sort of add a little bit more stability. And of course, I have these hinge pieces right here on the bottom, and of course on the top of this one I actually don't have anything yet, but I also will add a couple of those hinge pieces on there. But yeah, all of these jumper plates right here will be filled up with spikes. I'm not going to do that right now because this tower is still sort of in the design stage of the tower, and I don't really want to add a lot of spikes because I still need to pick it up a couple of times. Yeah, that's actually a big problem with the towers. If I want to move that tower, for example, from that place to over here on this table where I actually built the towers, I gotta take it apart a little bit actually, because when I actually grab it from this side and this side, it's gonna fall apart and I will push everything into destruction. So I really gotta take it apart. I mean, that's a thing I need to sacrifice for, of course, the accuracy of the tower. It's not going to be stable, but I don't really mind that. I mean, it's not going to be like I'm going to throw the tower through my room or anything, so it's gonna just sit there right there actually when I'm gonna show you my finale of building the Black Gate MOC in LEGO. But yeah, I'm really just happy with the tower. It's a really easy design actually. This design right here I actually sort of used right here also, but without those bricks actually, so that definitely also is a great design. Used a couple of those sort of hinge pieces right here all throughout the sort of sides actually. It's actually the tower is actually made up of those let me see here, the 2x8 plates and a couple of 2x4s. That is actually the entire design for the tower and how I managed to create height within the tower. Now, why it's actually so unstable is because this part right here is actually only attached to 2 of the 2x8 sort of sections right here. So these sections right here, actually, this section is just loose. So that is why the entire tower is so wobbly. Now, if I were to connect everything on top, it would still be wobbly because of the height and, of course, the accuracy is achieved actually by this design. I can't really think of any other design with, of course, the pieces I have within my own part collection. So if you have your design for the Tower of Teeth, of course, be sure to share it with me. I'm really just looking forward to seeing your own designs. That's what LEGO actually is about. Sharing designs and just building together to make awesome designs within the LEGO community. I really believe in that, really cooperating and of course just throwing huge collabs with you guys. So I definitely would love to see your designs of the Tower of Teeth and definitely some structurally strong designs for the Tower of Teeth. That definitely would be something epic to see. So I'm really just genuinely interested in how you would design the Tower of Teeth. So if you have your own design, please let me know in the comment section down below, or just hit me up on Instagram. You can just send me a DM on there. That's definitely something you could do. But yeah, I'm really interested in hearing what your thoughts are about the Tower of Teeth, and I'm going to show you a couple of angles right now, but I'm actually going to go and reattach that. So I'm just going to go and turn off my camera, and I'll be back in a sec. Yeah, I reattached the top of the right tower, and yeah, I mean, this really looks funky over here. You can clearly just put your hand through this tower. You gotta imagine, this is my hand next to the tower. That's just huge. Wait till I compare it to the Tower of Orthanc at the end of this video. That's definitely going to be something epic. But yeah, I want to show you a couple of angles of the towers because I think they really look superb. I mean, if we're going to take a look at the Black Gate from right here, this really just captures some shots from the movie. You can see the Black Gate right there. That definitely looks amazing. And then, of course, the huge tower over there on the big rock work right there. And I definitely love the fact that I actually lowered the rock work back in the day, because my initial design for the rock work around the towers actually ended up around this height. And that would have just been ugly in my opinion. So yeah, I'm really happy that I ended up changing the rock work, and it just looks so good right now. I mean, the tower isn't complete yet, but I already love the design. And just gotta imagine, this tower is gonna look a lot better in the future. You can't really see a lot of studs. It's actually gonna be a little bit more detailed like the Black Gate itself, so I definitely look forward to that. I mean, just look at this tower. It's huge. And then, of course, we got the other tower right over here on this side. I mean, I really like the fact that I got two towers enclosing this area of the battle at the Black Gate MOC. I'm definitely looking forward to setting up a lot of archers on my towers, shooting some arrows down at the soldiers of Gondor and Rohan, actually. That definitely is something amazing. And, of course, if we're going to take a look at the towers from the back angle right here, you can see that we got the Black Gate in the middle, and then, of course, the huge towers over there on either side. So that definitely looks amazing. And the main thing I like about this angle of the Black Gate right here with the Towers of Teeth is actually that you can see the big main structures from right over here. And you're going to see a big orc army just marching just towards and out of the Black Gate. It's going to look so amazing, and you're going to see these gigantic towers towering the armies of Mordor and, of course, the soldiers of the Men of the West, actually. So that definitely is going to be something amazing. I really like this angle over here because it just looks superb. I mean, you can see a lot of epic detailing on the towers, and I really like the scale as well. You can see this entire section in the Black Gate over here is actually a bit small in the middle, and the entire section of the towers is a bit bigger. So it goes from small actually right here to a bit bigger with the higher wall over here, and then you have the big tower right there. So that definitely is something amazing. And I also gotta work on those sort of higher walls right there because they look a bit plain right now. So I'm gonna add a couple of spikes to those as well, with of course some detailing on the walls. You can see that those light bluish gray pieces with the studs on the sides. I'm actually gonna add a lot of detailing onto that. For example, over here, actually, you can see a couple of detailing pieces over here on the front of the Black Gate. I'm going to use that same effect on the front of the higher walls right there. So that's definitely also going to look amazing. But yeah, I'm really happy with this angle of the Black Gate. You got to imagine there's going to be a lot of rock work on both sides. So you won't be able to see all of the tower actually on both sides, because this rock work right here is going to sort of slope into this area. So you're going to see part of the tower, but not all of it. And I'm really happy with that because it just looks amazing like this. And I definitely look forward to seeing the finished result of this MOC after, of course, it's done with, of course, the rock work and, of course, when I finished building the towers. I think the towers are actually going to be at the same height as the rock work, if I manage to raise the rock work that far. I actually ordered a couple of interesting parts to save a lot of money with building the rock work actually, but you're going to see that in a future episode of building Mordor in LEGO. But yeah, I really want to make sure that I can raise the rock work a little bit to this area probably would be the best, but if I manage to raise it to this area, that would also be superb. I mean, you can just use your imagination that the rock work is going to be really high right here, for example, like this height right here, but I'm not going to be able to do that because the plate actually on which I'm building the rock work ends right here, so I can't really have any other support system behind here. I'm not going to have a lot of plates hanging right here like Minecraft or something, so it's going to end right here, and I hope it's going to be as high as the towers. That definitely would add a lot of epic detailing to the MOC. I mean, how cool would that be? I would be able to film some rock work right over here, and of course have the Tower of Teeth right here. Just look at this scale of the MOC. I'm so happy with this entire section. I mean, you can look from this tower to the other tower, and it really looks superb. I mean, look at this. You can see the other tower right there, and I can even set up a couple of orcs within the tower. These are actually my commando orcs. I actually saw someone, Jacob, actually ask for, of course, showing the orcs. So I'm actually showing them off right now. These are my commando archers right here. These are specially skilled archers who can just fire arrows upon the armies of the men of the West. So that definitely is something amazing in my opinion. But yeah, I'm really happy with the height of the towers as well. I mean, you can clearly see that they are the same height. And I actually sort of wondered if they were the same height at first, but they are the same height. I actually put them next to each other on my other table, and I saw that they are the same height actually, luckily. So I'm really happy with that as well. But yeah, you gotta just take a look at the towers. I mean, it looks so superb, and I'm definitely happy with this. I mean, this is gonna be such an amazing MOC with a lot of minifigures, but there's also something else which is important while building a LEGO MOC. You don't really get to focus only on minifigures. You also need to build big structures within your LEGO MOC. Not only rock work, but also the big black gate is going to be shown within my MOC series. So that definitely is going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to finishing the towers. And right now, actually, I'm going to go and compare this tower to the heights of my LEGO Tower of Orthanc standing on my shelf right there. So I'm going to go and grab that set. So yeah, here is the Tower of Orthanc set. One of my favorite LEGO The Lord of the Rings sets. I actually bought this at release back in, I believe, 2013. Is that the right year? I believe so. But yeah, I'm really a big fan of this set. You got to take a look at this. The Tower of Teeth is almost as high as the Tower of Orthanc. Now, it is a different shape. Totally just a different shape, but I'm really happy with the way it looks. I mean, you got to take a look at this. The only reason why this tower right here actually is higher is because of these teeth pieces right here on top. Yes, these pieces actually are tooth pieces. They're actually called that within, of course, the Bricklink category, I believe. But yeah, just take a look at this. This tower is huge over here on the left side. I never imagined that these towers would be this big. I mean, I really procrastinated on building these towers. I didn't want to do this all those weeks, but I eventually just sat down and started building. And I think it really something beautiful came out of that. Take a look at these towers. They just look amazing. And I'm really just happy with them. You can really hear that I'm happy that I actually finally built the towers. And I clearly am. I mean, the towers really look superb. And I think they're definitely just going to fit within my Black Gate MOC. I'm really happy with that. But yeah, comparing it to the Tower of Orthanc, you can see that the Tower of Orthanc is a different shape over here. Actually need to dust this thing a bit more, actually, because it really has a lot of dust on it. Jeez, that's a lot of dust. All right, but yeah, this tower really looks superb. I mean, I like the Tower of Orthanc, but I love my Tower of Teeth a lot more. I mean, the Towers of Teeth are just so amazing. I really like the fact that I added these spikes over here on top, and that I didn't went for this design right here, because that definitely is just amazing. I really think that this is the best thing you could get in accuracy to the movie anyways. So yeah, that's definitely just my opinion, I think that this is gonna look amazing within my Black Gate MOC, and I really am looking forward to hearing your opinion on the Tower of Teeth in the comment section down below. So let me know what you think of the towers in the comment section down below. I'm really looking forward to hearing your opinion, and if you don't like the towers, of course, let me know what you don't like of the towers, because I can clearly improve that. I'm still in the designing stage, and right now I really want a lot of advice on designing the towers. So if you have any advice on building the towers, just let me know in the comment section down below. If you have any small details I need to add to the towers, also let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do with your advice on that. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from you in the comments. So yeah, this was everything I could build within this week. Yeah, I actually started building last week because I really wanted to have an epic tower design. So that is why I'm uploading this episode today. I'm really just happy with everything I managed to build this week. It was really hard because usually when I start building landscaping or rock work, I just have one pattern which I can repeat every single time. I mean, rock work is just repeating a lot of the same processes with your rock work. It's not really that hard, actually. I mean, yeah, you really need to add a lot of slopes on top of each other to create height, but you don't really need to build actually an entire new structure as I did right now. I mean, everything right here I just built on my own. I mean, it's really just a hard structure to build from of course a pile of pieces which you have laying right over here in front of you. So I really tried my best to just design this Tower of Teeth. I mean, I also just integrated the top of the tower actually from someone else's design, but I also had to add a couple of my own pieces to that because I like that better. But yeah, I'm just really happy that I could sort of try to integrate that design within my own Black Gate MOC. I mean, that's what LEGO is about, sharing. And that is actually why I started this series. I want to share my progress on building the Black Gate MOC with all of you. So I really hope that you enjoyed watching this episode of building Mordor in LEGO. And if you did enjoy watching this video, of course, let me know by leaving a thumbs up to support it. Go subscribe to Brickley if you are new to my channel, and of course ring that notification bell to stay updated when I post any LEGO videos. And I'm really looking forward to having all of my new packages. I actually ordered a lot of LEGO, which you're going to see in the future episodes of building Mordor in LEGO. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all in the next episode of building Mordor in LEGO. And of course, leave your comments in the comment section down below. I'm actually going to start shouting out your quotes again from now on. So leave your favorite LEGO The Lord of the Rings or just Hobbit quotes in the comment section down below. You can even just leave me some Pirates of the Caribbean or Star Wars quotes. I'm a fan of all fantasy-themed movies, so just leave your favorite quotes in the comment section, and I'll shout them out in the next episode of Building Mordor in LEGO. So I'll see you all in episode 25 of Building Mordor in LEGO.